And you know when you hear that music, it means only one thing. It's time. It's time. It's time for DTL Primetime Live, all on Stadium and simulcast on YouTube. Wherever you find Stadium, you will find us. The Stadium app. WatchStadium.com. How about Amazon Prime Video? You're damn right. YouTube TV, Roku TV. We continue to grow, and we grow because of you. Can you believe it? We're already to week 6. It kicks off tonight with Thursday Night Football. And it's kind of cool to see yourself right before the broadcast comes on the same network. It feels so good, but we got to get ready. We're talking about the no-fly zone. We're talking about key matchups on the ground and in the air. We're talking parlays, straight bets, prop bets. We've got it all with the best crew in the entire business. I'm your boy, the coach, and it is right here, right now. Waste no more time for the picks. Jared says, let's freaking go, Coach. You're damn right. For those of you watching on YouTube, when you come in, I need you to hit that like button. Look at my four tonight. It's absolutely an embarrassment of riches for the absolute very best. And I don't care who you're talking about. First and foremost, AB, good evening.
Good evening, Coach, boys, crew. What's up, man?
We're doing good. Now, the man right next to you, by this time tomorrow, I believe you're going to be gorging on hot dogs and cotton candy and everything like that. Z-Man, good evening.
I'm going to be at Texas State Fair, Red River Rivalry this weekend, broadcasting for ESPN Radio College Football Tailgate on Saturday morning. We're live right in the middle of it, all the action coming at you. So I've never been there before. I'm looking forward to it.
I've been a couple of times. You're going to have a great time, but I'm telling you, our crew, they are everywhere, just like Z-Man. Now, earlier today, I looked at the soccer plays, and I was like, my man cast in like 30 minutes. Big Chuck, good evening.
Evening, Coach, crew. Yeah, Zaslow, you're going to have a great time at that Texas State Fair. It's a great environment. Wish I was you, but hey, I can live through you. So, yeah, happy to cash some soccer plays, ready to get to it.
Let's get to it. He's got the best beard in the game. He's our fantasy aficionado. Big Sippy. Good evening, sir.
Feeling good tonight. Exciting NFC West. And tomorrow, fantasy picks and prize picks coming at you in the day show.
Let's go. We're live every single morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Also right here on Stadium. AB, we got to start it off right here, right now. It's a battle for first place. Two teams coming off bad losses on Sunday. The 49ers, they were ahead by 10. They're outscored by 11 to close the game. The Giants beat the Seahawks, block a field goal, take it back to the house. So both teams, AB, coming in needing a win. The 49ers, shockingly to me, 3 and the hook. The total sitting on 49. Start us off.
So these are two teams, like you said, that need a win. These are two teams coming in unbelievably banged up as well. That's why San Francisco is a 3.5-point favorite, because Seattle, specifically their defense, the middle of it, is gone. All of them. And what makes it worse, this is the Seahawks' third game in 11 days. They have had no rest, and they are banged up to hell. You're going to see a wild defensive depth chart. This is going to be a wild game, man.
I don't care who you are. You play 3 games in 11 days. Nobody can sustain that. Coming up in about 30 minutes, we're going to have props, but also we're going to look at key matchups that will play right in to what AB is talking about. So if we have a defense that is banged up and both offenses can score, Z-Man, maybe tonight the total is something that everybody should look at.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a lot of points tonight. I really do. I think both teams are going to be slinging it. You know, normally you go into the Thursday night game and it could be a little bit of sloppy football, but I take last week, for example. You know, you had a 36-30 shootout between the Falcons and Bucs. I think it was probably the best game of the NFL season so far, whether it's a Thursday night game or not. So I'm hoping we get something similar here tonight, because you got two teams that are really desperate. You know, if Seattle loses this game, they completely blow their 3-0 start. If San Francisco loses this game, you start to feel like maybe it's a lost season. A team that had Super Bowl expectations, you can't drop to 2-4. I think you're getting a shootout tonight. I think you're going to get a lot from Purdy. I think you're going to get a lot from Geno Smith.
Yeah, maybe even George Kittle. Shout out to Matt in the chat. He says Kittle's going to eat tonight. We'll find out in the prop section if any of my guys think that will be the case. Big Chuck, let me come over to you because based off of what Z-Man just said, the schedule for San Francisco is brutal moving forward. They got to catch the dub when they can, get healthy, 10 days off. Your thoughts?
Z-Man took the words out of my mouth, desperation for both teams. But yeah, the 49ers, they really need to get this victory, especially after blowing that 10-point lead to the Cardinals last week. So yeah, I think we're going to see urgency from both teams. I think we're going to see plenty of points. So yeah, I think both teams are going to play with their hair on fire, plenty of desperation.
Yeah, and a lot of good skill players on both sides. Soupy, you're our fantasy guy. Tonight, a lot of teams may have guys in the lineup. Anybody you've got your eye on?
I've got my eye on Kittle. The way that the Seattle plays their defense fits right into Kittle. I think he has the potential to be a top 5 tight end this week.
Wow, a top 5. Keep an eye on that tonight. We'll talk about George Kittle in a second. All right, AB, we got to get started. We got picks, and these are where we do the straight ones. And I know tonight, not only do you think it's going to be a wild game, but a wild game could lead to
turnovers, coach. And look, we're going to get to the no-fly zone here in a while. But the 49ers Seahawks, over 2.5 turnovers, minus 110. Got this at DraftKings, but you can get it everywhere. Pretty much every book has it. And I'm going to tell you why. Yes, these two teams are going to be throwing it. The Seahawks, that's all they damn do is throw the football, okay? But both of these quarterbacks are going to be prone to sacks, and they're going to be prone to getting hit, and they're going to be prone to taking off and running for their life. What does that mean? Punch it out. Fumbles. Fumbles are going to count tonight, too. They're going to be a big part of this game. So we'll talk about interceptions in a while, but over 2.5 turnovers collectively, that's your best play.
Can you give me that punch again, AB, please? Oh, that's awesome. I love that. The no-fly zone coming up in about 10 minutes from right now. You don't want to miss that. All right, Z-Man, coming over to you, big boy, because you're thinking Niners. And in the Kyle Shanahan era, when they have a bad loss, they usually come back strong. But also, you're going to double down with the points you just talked about. You're up.
Yeah, if we're in a situation where both teams are desperate, I got check marks next to two things that I look at, both for the 49ers. Number one, who's a better team? All right, going into this year, we're talking about San Francisco as a Super Bowl contender. Seattle's kind of in a soft rebuild. It's why it was really surprising they got out to a 3-0 start. So desperate teams. I like the team that's actually better. That's San Francisco. And number two, which quarterback do I want to count on more? And that's Brock Purdy. Not that there's anything wrong with Geno Smith, but Brock Purdy's a better quarterback. He's done a lot more winning in his career. So I'm going with the Niners here. I like the Niners to cover. And I already told you, I think we're getting a shootout tonight. I think we're getting a lot of points. I think this game's in the high 20s. Maybe even one team gets past 30.
God, I hope you're right, man. There is nothing better than a high-scoring game on a Thursday night. And you just described, I can see that cloudy Geno face, when he throws that interception or he turns the ball over. He gets out, he's like, what'd I do? He looks up at what did I do? That's Geno Smith for you. It really is. Soupy, shockingly, people, you're already catching strays, big boy. Liddy says, Soupy, I don't like your pick. Shocker. Explain yourself.
Tonight's battle is going to be between the San Francisco offensive line and the Seattle defensive front. San Francisco, best pocket time for Brock Purdy, great. Seattle, 7th best pressure percentage to the offensive line. Of course, they are hurt, though. So what Brock Purdy needs to do is he needs to hit the middle of the field, 10 yards and in. Last week, Daniel Jones went 22 for 27 with a touchdown. It's Daniel Jones, guys, for that win. And that's what Brock Purdy needs to do. That's why we'll talk about that prop later and how he will do it.
Do you have a ghost in your room right now, Soupy?
I don't know. It just it's been flickering a little bit. I don't know what's going on.
I'm a little
I think
worried
the ghost don't like
now.
my pick either. No one likes my picks today. Jeez.
I'm a little worried about you. Just don't knock over your system. Whatever you do, don't knock it over. All right, another straight pick. Chuck, back up our man Z-Man.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback Zaslow. These two teams, they like to score points. The 49ers games, they've went over in 5 of the last 7 outings and 8 of the last 10 in the NFC West. And The Seahawks, they've went over in 4 of the last 5 and 6 of 8 at home. Desperate teams, we should see plenty of points. Short week, yeah, give me that over 49. I hate I missed the 47.5, but 49 would be the highest that I'd go.
Shout out to Matt. He said it's the ghost of grammar past. Oh my God,
that's strong. It's really good. Matt, that's really good.
It's really good. Oh my God, I love the chat. Don't forget, hit that like button for me on the way in. It really helps the show grow. AB, let me come back over to you. So the kind of the consistency is we're going to have points, but as we look forward, and the 49ers, they were the preseason pick. We know they've been, hit with injuries. We know that CMC is not probably going to come back. He's on the IR. What do the 49ers need to do to try to get that confidence back tonight? Because when you let Kyler Murray score 11 straight in the fourth quarter in your house, their confidence has got to be right down here, right down here.
Do you know what the best defense is against scoring points? Your offense on the field. That's the best defense, is controlling the clock, controlling the game, run the football. All right. Now, doesn't mean you have to run it up the A-gap every single time. Doesn't even mean you have to run the football. Just use short screens, all right, as a de facto run game. Do all of it, but just methodically go down the field. Kyle Shanahan football. That's what will win you the game. Do not let Seattle get in a groove and do the same thing right back to you. Make them play from behind. Make their disadvantages a bigger problem than they already are. Also, watch this, especially early, but all game. No one in the NFL does it like San Francisco. Of every play has motion. As soon as Brock comes to the line, they're going to motion out and move. What they're doing is reading your defense. They'll take all the seconds on the clock and read where you're not. That is what San Francisco needs to do. Watch the motion tonight. You'll enjoy it. It's a chef's kiss work of art.
Chef's kiss, baby boy. Country Kane says 49ers like number 1 with running that clock down. He agrees with you. Now, Z-Man, let me come over to you. As we look at it, I feel like it's a little bit unfair. We've got buys in the 4th week. The Seattle's not till the 10th week. If you have so many injuries, is it even fair to give a team a bye in the 4th week and then play 12 weeks in a row? Because that's we're moving into that part of the schedule right now.
I mean, it's random. Like, it doesn't matter if it's fair or not. It's the way it goes. I think most teams, when the schedule comes out, you're hoping you're one of those teams that has the bye closer to the end of the season. Week 10, week 11. I don't even remember. Is this the first year that buys are as late as week 14? That seems pretty late. And I saw that there are buys. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen that before, but there are buys week 14 this year. Anyway, you want the bye later on in the season, but that's why games like tonight are so important, because it's a pain in the butt, obviously, especially for the road team, to play on the short week. But if you win the game tonight, you survive, you get the win, and you essentially get the bye this weekend before next week. So these Thursday night games are huge. But I'll also tell you, and they did this one time in the NFL. It was about 25 years ago. They tried it 1 year. I guess they didn't like it, and they abandoned it. And that was having 2 bye weeks throughout the season. And that was back with a 16-game schedule. I don't know why they don't do that anymore. Like, all right, now we got 17 games. Make 2 bye weeks. Like, it ends up extending the season for everybody. Everybody wins then. The TV broadcast, the fantasy football, the gambling, all of it. I don't know why we don't do 2 weeks bye anymore.
I was just thinking about that today, because it absolutely worked. Yeah, we did it one time, and it worked. And you just push the Super Bowl back maybe a week into February. It's all good. But with the injuries the way that it is right now in the NFL, you almost feel like they desperately need it. You could do 1 in the first 8 weeks. You can do 1 in the second 8 weeks. Can't even talk tonight. And then you can have guys get back and get healthy. All right, we're just getting started. It's a glorious Thursday night. We still have the no-fly zone. We have stadium eats. We've got key matchups. We got props. We've got it all. You don't want to go anywhere. It is DTL Prime Time. Prime Time. Prime Time live only on Stadium. Come on back. All right, all of you degenerates out there, we cruise through on our YouTube page. AB, big boy, I know we got some parlays. Let's start with the visitors tonight, sir.
San Francisco 49ers. Couple 3-leggers here. Let's take a look. 49ers money line, Running back Jordan Mason, anytime TD. Geno Smith, 1 interception or more, plus 200. 49ers money line. Debo Samuel, anytime TD. Brock Purdy, 225 passing yards or more, plus 305 or plus 500. 49ers minus 3.5. Jordan Mason, anytime TD. George Kittle, anytime TD, plus 500. Zaz, I'm throwing it to you, man. What do you like first here?
Look, I'm not here just to make pennies, all right? You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. I'm going to go 49ers. I already told you, I like them laying the 3.5. I also like multiple touchdowns thrown by Brock Purdy, but you know what? Let's go with one of those being George Kittle anytime touchdown, and we'll do Jordan Mason anytime touchdown. That's plus 500. Let's go with the third option there.
It is plus 500. Soupy, what do you like?
Give me the almonds, the cashews, the peanuts. I'm going nuts too. I love the 49ers, Jordan Mason and George Kittle to score tonight.
Okay. All right. Big Chuck.
Hey, I'll stack the pennies. Give me the plus 200 49ers money line, Mason anytime touchdown, and old Geno to throw interception. I think we see one on each side, primetime pick. So, yeah, no problem with plus 200 for show purposes.
Yep. Coach?
Well, I'm going to go also plus 500, not because I want to get crazy. I think that's the best value on the board. Love the Niners, and I think Mason and Kittle both find a host tonight.
Yeah, I'm going with the first one. I kind of like all of them, to be honest with you, but Chuck, I'm with you, man. 49ers win the game. Jordan Mason runs one in. Geno throws a pick. Phew, can't hate it. It is Geno Smith's birthday, though, I believe.
Guess who else has having a birthday, AB?
Who's that?
Our girl, Tina. She says, come on, guys. I need to cash some tickets so I can take myself out for my birthday tomorrow. LOL. Tina, you know you're already in the club with AB and Big Chuck and Seabass, and we get it. We get it. Don't rub it in. Don't rub it in. All right, we're back on Stadium, and we're going to eat in 2 seconds.
Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Stadium Eats. We are in Seattle, and do I have a dog for you? So what exactly is a Seattle dog? It's the best way to elevate your hot dog ever. Just watch the video. We'll show you how it's done. We're going to start with an onion. We're going to go ahead and thinly slice that up. Then in a saute pan, we're going to add some butter. We'll add in those onions, a little bit of salt, some pepper, and a little bit of balsamic vinegar. We're going to cook that down until they look like this. Next, we're going to go ahead and slice our hot dog. Open that up, and then we're just going to make some slits in here so it looks like this, some diagonals. This is going to add texture. This is also going to go down into a hot pan. We're going to cook it till it looks like this. Yes, get that color on there. That's all the flavor. Now, I couldn't decide between raw jalapenos or the pickled ones, so we're going to do this with both. And, of course, because I like to be extra, we're going to go ahead and use a pretzel bun. Once we got that, we'll toast it. We're going to add some vegetable cream cheese because we got to be healthy, right? Add on that hot dog. Go ahead, top it with those grilled onions. We'll start with the raw jalapeno, and then just because, we'll add in some bacon. And that's our Seattle Dogs, guys. Get ready for the game tonight. Enjoy. Until the next dish, y'all.
Down Tizzle says, Seattle Dogs for dinner. Should we tell Seabass he's got all that stuff right there on his face, AB? I don't know. Should we tell him or not?
Oh, no. Hey, he knows. He's saving that for later. That's halftime.
Are we supposed to talk really low? Are we trying not to wake the baby? I don't understand why we're talking like this, but man.
No. You're right. Like, you're right. When editing that, I thought about that, but I was like, I don't have a kid, but if I did, I'm not trying to wake his little bat up. Like, I just want to
scares
keep
the
sleep.
food.
Yeah.
If you talk too loud, the food gets scared. You got to whisper.
That's true. That's true. All right. A lot of people are asking about turnovers tonight. They're asking about interceptions tonight. There is one place. If you're new to our brand, you can't go anywhere else and get what we're getting ready to show you right here and right now. There's a reason certain quarterbacks do certain things. My man AB dives deep every single primetime game only in the no-fly zone.
Let's start here with Brock Purdy. This is last week versus the Cardinals in a loss. All right, 19-35 for 244 yards. They do not want Brock Purdy going 19 for 35. cut down on the attempts, run the football a little more, and be more selective. They'll let them sling it. Now, take a look at the Seahawks secondary here. Ranked 10th, 8th, 12th. Short left, short mid, short right. They're going to take away the pass, but they do have injuries in the linebacking core. Deep left, deep mid, deep right in the 20s, and it gets worse. Look at Brock Purdy. We always talk about quarterbacks 10 yards and in. Buddy, he's got passes well above 10 yards. What that tells me, and you flip it over to the other side, Brock Purdy's going to take deep shots tonight, but he has to be calculated. Run the football. Be careful and don't throw bad passes out there. All right. You see deep middle, deep right, intermediate right. Those are going to be his tough spots. But you look at the bottom left. Why is Brock Purdy 78.5 in that quadrant when the league average is 90? You want to know why? Tipped balls, because he's not tall. And that's what Seattle's defense is going to try to do tonight. Watch it. They will have hands up, and he's been practicing with the brooms out in front of him. Pay attention to tip passes. Now, flip it over to the last one. This is what the 49ers want to do tonight. Go all out to score first. Play with a lead. Force Seattle to play from behind. Increase time of possession. Long drives. Handoff, handoff, handoff. Run Jordan Mason. Hell, even run Brock Purdy himself. He can go. He's got over 100-plus rushing yards this year, but play action, deep shots. He'll take them too. 3 out of 5 interception rating. If the game script goes where San Francisco has the ball all night, it's going to be tough to get a pick on Purdy. But take a look at Geno here. 10 yards and in, 5 yards and in. All right, and he's throwing right over the middle. Okay, this is last week in the loss against the Giants. 28 of 40. They don't want that either. They want to run the football. Take a look at the 49ers secondary. Not great, not bad, just kind of there. Flip it over here. What Seattle has to do is do not throw it deep in the middle, do not throw it intermediate in the middle, and short left and short right. Why are both of those danger zones for Geno? Because the 49ers are going to blitz the hell out of Geno tonight, especially if they're playing from ahead. Geno has to be careful, and they have to use the clock. Just like we're shutting down bots in the chat, Geno has to shut down San Francisco owning the football. Flip it over to the final screen. You're going to see an increase of pass attempts tonight. Use creative screens and draws. Run the football. Use Kenneth Walker both ways. He can catch the hell out of the football. Let him do it. Geno, he gets from behind. Deep shots galore. Longest completion, longest receptions. They're all in play tonight. And Geno, you're going to have to run the football yourself to keep that 49ers defense honest. This is the highest interception rating that we have had at Driving the Line. 4.5 stars. Geno could be in trouble tonight.
Wow. By the way, 72 rush yards last week on 4 rushes for Geno to back that up. 4.5 stars, just book it. Just play it right now. I don't care what your juice is. Play it right now. Z, let me come over to you. If Geno's not going to be able to throw it down the middle, he's got 2 guys. One that's great streaking, that's DK Metcalf. But his other guy, Lockett, we forget about Jackson, but Lockett loves to go down and settle in the middle. He might not be able to do that tonight.
I'll tell you, though, I think it's something to be aware of because Tyler Lockett looks like he's been Geno Smith's favorite receiver the last couple of weeks. You know, everybody talks about DK Metcalf, and we know Jackson Smith-Njigba really came on last year, but you still look at even a game like last week. Tyler Lockett had 75 yards. I believe it led Seattle, and he's getting the most looks again from Geno Smith. So, yeah, it's a good thing to point out. If you like Tyler Lockett numbers tonight, excellent job there pointing out to those parts of the field that may not be beneficial for Seattle.
Yeah, and last week, Zuby, they went on 4th down, and he had and it was his fault, an awful offensive pass interference call that he didn't even need to do, and they would have got the 4th down, and they would have kept going. So Seattle right now, they've got the 3-headed monster, but they need to watch the show so they know where not to throw it. But maybe it's got to be on the outside tonight against this 49ers defense.
Yeah, and this is the thing, that Seattle is the heaviest passing offense in the league. They're going to throw it no matter what. That's how they move the ball. They get Kenneth Walker to sort of open it up, but they open it up for the passing game. I've said this many times. Ryan Grubb, University of Washington last year, threw it to a national championship game last year. They are going to do it tonight and try to beat this San Francisco secondary.
All right, let's go to the other side now, Big Chuck, because we saw that 78% that should be 92 or 93 to the left because of tip balls. But if you're George Kittle, who had 8 last week, if you're Brandon Ayuk, who had 8 for like $147, Kittle settles in the middle. Ayuk goes a little bit deeper. Maybe that'll play nice against the Seattle defense, Chuck.
Yeah, they tend to have good games. Also, Debo. So, yeah, I would expect for them to especially have good games against the Seattle defense. It's already banged up. So, we're going to have this 49ers offense coming in a bad mood against the banged up Seattle defense. Yeah, I'd expect both of them to go off.
Yeah, John says in the chat, AB, JSN, apparently that's what the cool kids call him, JSN. Breakout game tonight. He's going to show that he's the best Seahawks wide receiver. Based off of what you just showed us in the no-fly zone, does it play into him being that third wide receiver to be open?
Oh, it definitely does. I mean, look, they're going to throw the football. The Seahawks are going to throw the football all night long. They do it all game long, every single game. So you're already going to get the opportunities. Number 2, all right, you're going to see eyes on Lockett. You're going to see eyes on DK Metcalf. And Geno is not afraid to go across the middle. So watch wide receivers, all right, X, Y, Z, when they're in the Z position and moving in to go in the slot position across the middle. Watch out, man. Geno will light you up too. Like, just because we put a 4.5-star rating on that does not mean Geno can't do it. Seattle could go out here and whoop San Francisco. Like, that could happen too. This game's going to get wild, man. It's all who plays from ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it last week, and Z-Man said it. That was the best game to watch of the entire season. So, Z-Man, let me talk about Brock Purdy for a second, because when you give up a 10-point lead and their second half was awful, just awful. Here are the stats for these two guys. And you come back tonight, how much does Kyle Shanahan say, you've only got 6 passing touchdowns in 5 games so far and 4 interceptions? Something has to give.
Well, I think the 6 passing touchdowns is not that much of a surprise, because that's where I think you're missing Christian McCaffrey. And you look at Jordan Mason, you say, hey, he's done a great job running the football. Yes, Mason has done a great job. He's been just as good running the football as Christian McCaffrey is, but he doesn't give you in the passing game what McCaffrey does. That's where Brock Purdy is missing McCaffrey's presence. It's having that outlet in the passing game. Mason gives you the running stats, but he doesn't do in the receiving game what McCaffrey does. So I think McCaffrey is missed in regards to Brock Purdy's overall production, but I trust the coach in this spot. I really do. You know, the second half for San Francisco, Arizona, okay, they had guts late in the game. You go for 2, you get a stop, you get the field goal, and then you get the interception in the end. But the 4 possessions for San Francisco in the second half, 3 of them were turnovers. 1 of them was turnover on downs. I think San Francisco comes out much better in this one. I'll bet they can't wait to get back out on the field after that debacle.
You're absolutely right. So it begs the question, Big Chuck, plain and simple. Based off of everything we've just said the last 8 minutes, which quarterback has a better game tonight, in your opinion?
I'll have to go with Purdy by a smidge. He's had success against the Seahawks defense, so I think he's going to have a little bit more success. But yeah, this offense has been just getting buried down in the red zone. But last week was bad for the 49ers. You know, their kicker gets hurt, and then Mason fumbles inside the red zone. So for whatever reason, they're stalling out in the red zone. But yeah, between these two, I'll just have to give a slight edge to Purdy.
15 seconds, Soupy. Talk to me.
Yeah, this is going to be, I think Brock Purdy's going to actually have the better game long as he keeps it short. He also likes to throw in tight windows. We've got that injured Seattle defense. I think if he finds those tight windows, he can move the ball.
It's going to be an exciting game tonight. And these guys got something to prove. I mean, we're in week 6, guys. And it's really starting to be important, because you can let your season get away from you very, very quickly if you start losing these games that you should win. Still to come here on Primetime, we've got props. We've got key matchups on the ground and through the air. And who is going to be the next person to get into the club? It is Primetime Live on Stadium. All right, we continue on here on our YouTube page. By the way, Z-Man, you're on my Amazon Prime because we're a few seconds behind. You look great. You look great on Amazon Prime,
Oh.
big boy.
Thank you very much.
You're
I mean,
welcome.
that's nice to get a compliment every now and then. I appreciate you.
You're very welcome. Nice and smooth. All right. Z-Man. AB, we've got the Seahawks parlays now, according to DK. Where are we going?
Well, you know what? I look so good that we covered the entire screen. So there we go. All right. No, I'm kidding. Seahawks plus 3.5. Kenneth Walker, anytime TD, and Brock Purdy to throw a pick plus 345. Seahawks plus 3.5. DK Metcalf, anytime TD. Kenneth Walker, anytime TD, plus 650. And look at this, plus 1,000. Seahawks win the game. Kenneth Walker, anytime TD, and both QBs to throw a pick. So, Coach, I'll go to you first. Let's reverse it.
I'm not going with that one because I don't think the Seahawks win tonight. So I'm going to go. Let's go Seahawks plus 3.5 with the 2 anytime touchdowns plus 650, please, Alex.
There we go. There we go. Z-Man, what do you like, bud?
Yeah, same one for me. I already like the Niners minus 3.5. So I'll go Seahawks plus 3.5. And I do think we're getting points scored tonight. So I'll go with the Metcalf touchdown and the Walker plus 650.
All right, Soupy.
Yeah, I'm going with the middle one too. I like the Seahawks 3.5, and I think DK can get a long shot, and Kenneth Walker definitely run one in.
All right, Big Chuck.
What is option A? Seahawks plus 3.5. Kenny Walker anytime TD and old Purdy to throw a pick plus 345 works for me.
Yeah, I'm going to go with you on that one too. Plus 345. Again, I worry about the pick if San Francisco just runs the ball all night long, but that's the best way I think we can go.
I almost feel like to get the over and San Francisco because they're one of those teams that they'll punch it in late in the game to cover. They'll do that. I feel like we need Seattle leading until early fourth quarter so we can't have all those runs. And then, 49ers put the hammer down with Mason. That's what I feel like the game script to cash both 49ers and the over needs to be. Shout out to Prime Plus Money getting out of surgery. Hopefully you're doing well. Welcome back to the show. We certainly missed you, pal. Let him know what we think about him. All right, we are back live on Stadium in just 5 seconds. It's time to prop it up. This is where we don't have straight plays, but there's a lot of you out there that simply like to bet props. So we got you covered. AB, where we start tonight, big boy?
Got some options here, all right? We're going a little Chinese buffet, all right? So, Geno Smith, 1+ pick, minus 130. Kenneth Walker, over 21.5 receiving yards, not rushing yards, receiving yards, minus 115. We're going to go Geno Smith, longest completion, over 35.5 yards. We're going to go Brock Purdy, longest completion, over 37.5 yards, because when you bring the blitz and you do not get it because a quarterback is mobile, it can move in a half horseshoe out of the pocket. There's somebody running a 9 route deep. I think both of these quarterbacks are going to take shots. That's why I like both of them.
There are 4 players at least that could cash both of those for those quarterbacks. I think they're dangerous. I think you got 3 Seattle wide receivers, AB, and you got at least 2 for. I think Kittle can get it, and I think certainly Brandon Ayuk can get it.
Yep, they can.
Great analysis, AB. Thank you.
Well, the 49ers have terrible red zone. Charles hit on this a minute ago. The 49ers have been horrific in the red zone as of late. They've been scoring deep. They'll do it again.
All right, fantastic. All right, let's move right below you. Big Chuck, you got 3 tonight, and you're feeding into Debo. You're feeding into 2 of the studs for Seattle. You're up. Let's go.
Yeah, old Debo loves playing the Seahawks. He averages 6.7 catches and 107 yards per game over 6 meetings. Give me over 53.5 receiving yards. I think he gets us at least 54. DK Metcalf, over 65.5 receiving yards. He also enjoys playing the 49ers in 10 games. He averages 5 catches and 63 receiving yards. I expect Geno to feed him early and often and get us over this one. Lastly, Jackson Smith and Jigba. He is slowly becoming Geno's one of his favorite targets. He's getting about 8 targets a game and 51 receiving yards per outing. So over 46.5 receiving yards feels like a discount to me in this one.
It really does. If you're going to have a quarterback that throws for 300 yards a game, at least 2 guys have to go north of 50. At least 2 guys. And I think those are the 2 to do it tonight. All right, Big Soupy, let me come up to you. What do you got?
I know this one's a little juicy, but squeeze it and soak it in. Tyler Lockett over 3.5 catches. He has done this in 4 or 5 games this year, in 3 of the last 4 against San Francisco. And I've talked about George Kittle. I think he's going to have a huge game tonight. Over 4.5 receptions, over 60 receiving yards. Put that together for a nice parlay. They are allowing, the middle linebackers are allowing 8.9 yards per pass attempt and 133 yards after the catch. Kittle is going off. He's going to be in the midfield all night, and he is going to be catching passes.
You know how much I love this? We rarely ever see, Soupy, somebody play a same game parlay with the same dude. This is because if one, normally the other one doesn't always come in, but I think this is brilliant. I really, really do. Well done.
I think it's going to be a big game for Kittle tonight. I'm hedging on that.
Okay. All right. You're all over it. All right. Z-Man, you're also on a Thursday night football parlay. Talk to me.
That's right. I'm in it to win it here. So let's go with a parlay this evening. I already told you I like the 49ers tonight. So we're going to go 49ers money line. I think both teams are going to score. All right. So let's go Purdy, 2+ passing touchdowns, and Geno Smith. I think the Seahawks are going to be playing from behind. Geno Smith, 225+ passing yards, and the total there is +205. There's going to be green check marks next to all of those right when the game is over.
Man, I got to be honest with you, man. I love those. The only one that scares me is the 2+. AB, go.
I wanted to back up like what Zaz was just saying, and not that he needs it, but you remember the other night, the Cowboys, when we said, look, they're going to throw it all over the field? That's child's play to what the Seahawks do. They throw it all the time. They could lose by 100 points, and Geno could have 300 yards passing. Like, it's
there
a great
no
play.
Question.
Yeah,
no question. Play. No question. All right, if you're new to DTL, we like to compare because you may not like the prop bets that we just gave you. You may say, hey, listen, I like rushing attempts. I like rush yards. I like anytime touchdowns. We got you. So let's take a look at our first key matchup on the ground, AB, and that's Jordan Mason, over 500 yards so far this season, averaging 107 yards per game. And then Kenneth Walker, he is dynamic when he can stay healthy. Talk to me, AB.
So look at 2 factors right here. Number 1, attempts for Jordan Mason. And then look at the difference in rushing yards. Kenneth Walker, 63.5. Yes, that has to do with him and Zach Charbonnet behind him. But it just goes to show that Seattle's been throwing all the time. And I don't like the longest rush for either of them. I don't mind Jordan Mason, the rushing yards, but yeah, running the ball for Seattle, tough sledding, buddy.
It really is. 21 yards in between, as AB says, Z. And it's clear there's a reason for it. And sometimes when this happens, it happened to me with Kareem Hunt the other night. It's like, oh, there's no way. And then he goes out and has 70 yards in the first quarter. When you compare these two, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think I like the anytime touchdown for Kenneth Walker. You know, I could roll with -25. Walker getting into the end zone at least once here tonight. I don't necessarily love the rushing total for either one of them. I could see both teams, both quarterbacks slinging the ball over the field. I definitely don't like it for Kenneth Walker going over 14.5. I don't like the total there for rushing yards either. Jordan Mason, like I said, has been fantastic so far. It feels like, though, there eventually has to be a game where he dips under that 107 yard per game average on the ground. I mean, that's a big time number right there. So I think the one that I would roll with is Kenneth Walker getting into the end zone.
It does seem like that, but oh man, when you're and it's rare, Big Chuck, that we got a -195 anytime touchdown. That means the sports books say when they get inside the 10, it's going to number 24, but you can't lay 95 cents, can you?
Not at all. You'd have to look at the 2 touchdowns, if anything. I'd also look at his attempts. But, yeah, I'm with Zaslow. Getting -125 on Kenneth Walker. You can see what Mason's getting, so only have to get that $1.25 for anytime touchdown. Yes, sign me up for that one, and attempts for Jordan Mason.
Shout out to Jared in the chat. He said, I agree with Z-Man. I think Kenneth has a good game. I got his rush receiving the combo number at 80.5. It's now up to 88.5. So it's moving throughout the day, Soupy.
I like Jordan Mason. They want to run the ball to establish that passing game. He only had 14 last week, but that was because they didn't have a kicker and they had to get as close as possible to the end zone. They are going to run him and run him. He's going to get at least 18 to 19 carries. I'm going to take that over for Jordan Mason tonight.
All right, quickly shout out to Dan. He goes, "Thanks for the laugh, guys." Laughs. This is a serious. What are you talking about? Laughs, Dan. We are serious, damn it, all the time. All right, let's flip over now to our receiving chart. And there are so many guys that can catch the football. But, AB, we decided to focus on Debo from the 49ers and DK Metcalf. And I'm always shocked because DK is a specimen. And this dude should dominate to the point that he's at 80, 90, 100 every week. But that doesn't happen, and his number always falls in the 60s. I don't know why. Maybe you can help me.
It's a good question. Well, it also has to do with this offense being 7 yards and in the air, right? San Francisco, they throw deeper passes now. Brock Purdy can sling it. But take a look at that slide there, and you're going to see a couple of numbers you want to pay attention to. DK, receptions. Great number there. Debo, receiving yards. But what I love the most, the longest receptions. I'm telling you, both of these quarterbacks are going to take deep shots, especially when they can run, suck you in, and then hit you deep. They will do it a lot more than you think tonight. I love longest receptions. That's why I'm playing longest completions on both sides.
So if you got long completion on one side, and then, I mean, to me, I'm a little shocked, Z, that Debo's longest reception is kind of the same number as DK, because DK is the fastest and biggest guy on the field.
Yeah, I love DK Metcalf, longest reception, 23.5. I don't have much thought about Debo's side of things, but, Metcalf is absolutely a big play threat. It doesn't even have to be, big catch and run over the middle. It could be deep pass down the sideline. I told you I like Seattle coming from behind, playing from behind for most of this game. All it takes is one. Takes one pass down the sideline, 25 yards, boom. There you hit it right there. So I like DK Metcalf, longest reception.
All right, so Soupy, if we don't play DK on the Seattle side and we had to play Lockett or Jackson, which other guy would you play?
I already have Lockett in a reception prop. I'm going to take him for also the yards. He's had over 60 yards in 3 of 4 games against the 49ers. He's a great route runner, and Gino will throw the ball. He's going to look for him for that option. So I'm going to take Lockett for over receiving yards.
I was just looking at Jackson for the other conversation, Big Chuck. And this is a guy at some point, and there's always that time in the season for every team when they've got a guy that the books just say, you know what, he's not quite ready. This dude is also a specimen, and on any given night, Jackson can go way over any of these numbers right here.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's still in the 40s. He had 12 catches, 16 targets against the Patriots, well over 100 yards. So yeah, Gino is always looking for him. Like I said, he's getting like 8 targets per game. So he's still getting like 4.5 receptions and like 45 to 50 yards. Yeah. Then his anytime touchdown is close to 200. So yeah, I love Njigba. He's only going to become a bigger part of this offense as the season continues to go on.
Yeah, keep your eye on all of these wide receivers tonight. Real quick, AB, Japan in the chat. I can't believe this is plus 10,000. Kyle Juszczyk, 2 touchdowns tonight, plus 10,000. Is it worth a little bit?
I mean, it's worth. He never gets handoffs though. Like he's always blocking. Like that's why. But at some point, it's gonna have to do it. And I'll tell you this: you want to know a little secret? All right.
Yes.
Gino throwing deep. Watch where Metcalf is, left or right of the field, and watch where Bosa is coming from left or right on the line. The opposite side of Bosa is gonna get deep action. Just watch for that.
Fascinating. That's why hashtag it pays to watch live. You can come on and you can watch all the recap screens you want. You can watch all the comparisons that you want. But if you don't listen to AB, Z-Man, Soupy, and Charles, we're trying to make you smarter. And that's what it's all about. It's not just about picks and winning every single one. Now, it's about to get serious here in about 3 minutes because we have a lot of dissension in the ranks, as it were. We here in the crew have some haves and unfortunately some have-nots. But tonight, for somebody, I just have a gut feeling that that's about to change. So when we come back, It's time to find out who we play for a gym to get into the club. It's prime time on Stadium. All right, all you degenerates out there that rock with us on YouTube, thank you very much. Now, AB, we know there's a lot of our universe that doesn't like to wait for a full game to get a payout. They want immediate gratification. We've got a little something for them, too. Oh, we're going different tonight. Let's go points bands.
We are. Look, that's on me. We go first half, but we go point bands tonight because we had some book issues of who was up and who wasn't. But point bands, if you've never played this before, you're essentially choosing the final score of each team. If the 49ers won 17-10, all right, 11-20 would score for both teams, plus 285, plus 175. So you get the idea here, all right? Throw it over to you, Z-Man, first. Give me the point band that you like for each team.
I'm in it to win it here. Like I told you, I think high 20s, maybe even one team surpasses 30. So that team, I believe, is San Francisco. So let's go San Francisco between 31 and 40 at plus 265. And we'll play Seattle between 21 and 30 at plus 145.
All right. Soupy, where you going?
I'm thinking the whole time 21-30. I think this is going to end up being like a 27-23 type of game. So give me both of them, 21-30.
Big Chuck.
Yeah, that would be the safe just to take both 21-30, but I'm what Zaslow's saying, I'm feeling it. So yeah, the 31-40 plus 265 for the 49ers and then 21-30 for the Hawks.
All right, Coach, where you going?
There's a reason me, Big Chuck, and Z-Man are stars in this business. We think alike. 34-23, Niners with the 34, so it's plus 265. It's plus 145. We all three cash with the points bands, AB.
All right, there we go. Look, I'm going 11-20 on both sides. Yes, that does not scream a fun game, but that's where I'm going, both of them. I think this game could be really fun, or this game could be atrocious.
AB, I did not think you were going to sit on your own island tonight.
Yeah,
but you are. You're on your own island tonight. All right. Points bands are a lot of fun. So many different ways you can bet these games. All right. It's about to get serious right here. We are back live on DTL Primetime Live on Stadium in just 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back on Stadium. Incredible partners. We're on watchstadium.com, the Stadium app, Amazon Prime Video, YouTube TV, Roku TV. And in the next few days, we got a big announcement on another big place that we're going to be on coming up in November. Can't wait for that. All right, we always do the look ahead. Our next DTL Primetime Live is on Sunday night. And AB, this is a must-win for both of these teams. Will it be a highly watched game? I doubt it, but the Bengals, the books continue to believe in them. Lane 3 in the hook, total of 47.5. What's your early take?
The Giants looked good against Seattle last week. Giants played well. You're right. Cincinnati, I mean, it's a must-win, but every week has been a must-win. The problem is their defense, not the offense. All right? So, points. Take the over. Ride the over. There are going to be a lot of points in this game.
I agree with that. And Z, the Bengals literally bungled one at the end in overtime last week. They should be 2-3. They are 1-4 with Burrow. Chase doesn't have a new deal. It seems like if they don't win this one, things could all fall apart.
Yeah, I don't think New York can keep up with what Cincinnati can do offensively. You know, Cincinnati obviously at 1-4. They look at this game and say, all right, Giants, that's a win. That's a game we're going to have. But I'm not so sure we're not at the point where teams are looking at the Bengals on their schedule and saying, all right, that's a game we can win. Like the Bengals have lost 4 out of 5 this season. So the game could be relatively close, but I just don't think the Giants are going to be able to hang with them offensively.
Boy, I tell you what, it is hard not to they still have the players. They still have the horses. They just haven't been able to stop anybody or have the key touchdown when they needed to, Big Chuck. And right now, maybe it's the 47.5 because we just don't know if what Z-Man is true, if the Giants will show up like in Seattle or play like Daniel Jones has tended to play at times.
I think it's going to be a high-scoring weekend, and this is another game that I have checked off for points. Plus, I like the Giants to keep it close to getting the 3.5 at home dog. So, yeah, I'm liking the total. I'm liking the Giants to cover. Even look at the Giants team total. So, yeah, I love this game.
Soupy, where are you going, big boy?
Man, I got to go with the G-Men in this game. You look what happens when he doesn't get a defender in his face every 2 seconds. He was able to establish the pass. Tyrone Tracy, the Boilermaker rookie, had a great game. I don't like Cincinnati's offensive line. I don't like their defense. I think the Giants are going to be able to score and keep up with Cincinnati this weekend.
That's kind of where I don't like to disagree with Z, but I think I'm going to go with you, Subi. I like the Giants and Big Chuck. I like that, but we've got 3 days to prepare before 7 p.m. Eastern on Sunday night. I don't need the whip around music, and we're not doing the props again, but the straight bets I think are important to do. So, producer man, if you don't mind, I'd love to go back to the first screen and quickly go over our first straight bets for tonight. A lot of people were not here at the top. We got a huge live number going on right now. So let's recap. AB, what do you like tonight with those 2.5 turnovers? Tell me why.
Fumbles. All right. Interceptions are going to be in there, but fumbles are going to happen as well. Quarterbacks under fire and a lot of running across the middle of the field. San Francisco can punch them out. Take over 2.5 turnovers.
Somebody in the chat said they were looking to play one team to fumble. Which one? If you had to pick one team, who would it be?
Seattle. San Francisco is the best in the business with the football punch. They've perfected it.
Okay. Z, let's come over to you. You like the Niners tonight and that over?
I do. Well, there you go. You stole it from me. I like the Niners and I like the over. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored tonight, Coach. Yes, you got it.
Oh, I was just wanting you to explain. That's all. Thank you, Z.
Yes, no, I think there's a lot of points scored tonight. I think Brock Purdy and Geno Smith. I don't think Geno's had a game yet this year where he's thrown multiple touchdowns. I think it happens tonight. I think there's a lot of points.
I love Z so much. Charles, you're backing that play up, big boy.
Yeah, I love it. Our Stay on Your Toes live play cashed on the morning show just now, and we're going to cash this over. They've cashed 5 of 7 on 49ers games and 6 of 8 at Seahawks home games. Yeah, I love this over 49.
Soupy, you're teasing me tonight. What do you got?
Brock Purdy they need to establish the run. Brock Purdy just needs to hit the middle of the field and he will be fine. But Seattle, they can push the ball. They can score quick. I do think they keep this within a touchdown, and I do think there's going to be a lot of points.
All right. Very, very good. So those are our straight plays as a crew for those of you that were not here tonight. Now, this is the part of the show where I really have to calm myself down. And TJ in the chat says, AB, are we doing Jaeger bombs in the club tonight? I need to see everybody on this one. Producer man, I need to see everybody on this one. All right. So, you are not grabbing the football and taking it to the club. No, you're not. Oh my God. This is driving
everybody
me
in the club after the game tonight gets one. Real NFL football.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Calm down, coach. Calm down. All right. So if you're new, there's a lot of you because it's a big number. This is the part of the show where we predict who's going to score the first touchdown of the game. And it can't be plus 450. It can't be like Debo. It's got to be somebody at plus 1,000 or higher. AB was the first one to get a diamond this year. So until somebody gets 2, he always gets to go first. AB, you are up.
You know who else gets to go first? You're going to take a look at the screen and say, AB's playing Zach Charbonnet. Sounds like Zach Chardonnay, what we're going to be drinking in the club tonight. Happy early birthday, Tina. And I'll give you a little secret. You ready for this, Coach?
Yes.
Zach Charbonnet has had more carries in the red zone this season than Kenneth Walker himself. Your boy is getting in twice tonight.
Why do you always give me the nuggets after I make my play? All right. Damn it. I like that play now. All right. Big Chuck, you also have a little diamond over, and you become quite the character inside the club from what they are telling me. You are up.
Also got to be a little diamond. Yeah, DK Metcalf. I could see him getting can't you just imagine just getting that long bomb? We go ahead and cash the over 65.5 receiving yards and the first touchdown. Yeah, I love DK. It may be a little chalky, but hey, it fits the criteria. So yeah, DK Metcalf plus 1,100.
It does. And when you've got good guys on both sides, you can get a good number for a star player. All right, let's go down to Soupy. You're picking AB's guy.
Raise your hand if you are a San Francisco 49er wide receiver that has scored a touchdown. Juwan Jennings is the only one that can do it. He has 3 this year. Yeah, it was all in one game, but I don't care. The resurgence is back. He is getting in the end zone tonight.
Oh, Matt says Kittle and Jennings lead in red zone targets for the Niners so far this year. All right, producer man believes in at least half of that plus 10,000 play. He likes Kyle Juszczyk tonight. Really nice number there. All right, Z-Man, you're going on the other side of the fence. You think Seattle at home will get that football past the goal line first? You're up, sir.
Yeah, Geno Smith's been looking for Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett has not been in the end zone yet this season, so he's due. Everybody knows that's what that means. So I'm going to go with Tyler Lockett plus 1,700. Open the club doors for me.
Got a lot of respect for Z. Got a lot of respect for Soupy. I've lost all gem respect for AB and Big Chuck. I'm going to go with the new superstar in the making, Mr. Jackson. And this guy tonight, as soon as Geno looks at DK, he looks at Tyler Lockett. He goes, no, Z, not over there. No, whoever had DK Metcalf. He looks at your boy, the coach, because all of you in the chat that are pumping me up, I feel you. I feel you, and I cannot take one more single solitary primetime game with standing outside and looking up at all the lights going and knowing that Chuck's in there, AB's in there. Damn, Seabass and DG aren't even in the damn club. That ends tonight. Jackson, be my boy. I apologize, guys. I apologize. I get a little excited. All right. I literally got 5 seconds for everybody. Your final take at 5 to 10. Z-Man, go.
It's a very big sports day. I'm looking forward to how it concludes. You got the baseball going on right now. Cleveland and Detroit, they're tied at 2. Royals, Yankees coming up. We got Thursday night football. I got to go catch the Panthers. They're on the road for the first time this season. Great night.
AB.
Watch for the holding calls on the offensive line tonight. There could be a lot of them.
Chuck.
Did I mention our stay on your toes live play catch? Leafs and Devils both score in the first period.
Great use of your 10 seconds. Soupy.
Yeah, I'm going to go watch with Z-Man. Both Kachuk brothers are playing tonight.
Yes.
And if whoever wins tonight wins the NFC West.
Oh, my God. All right, that's going to do it for us. Remember, we're live tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time for Football Friday. In the meantime, enjoy your night from the crew and producer man. I am the coach. Oh, I love DTL Primetime Live only on Stadium. Good luck tonight.